Hello, I'm Marion Gibson, and I'm the author of Witchcraft: A History in 13 Trials. America's first witch trial was in 1626. That's a full 70 years before the Salem trials, which you might have heard of, in 1692. And also, surprisingly, it was in Virginia, so a long way to the south of Massachusetts where the Salem trials took place. The trial in 1626 was the trial of Joan Wright, and Joan was a midwife and what was called a cunning woman, or somebody who thought she had a kind of second sight or divinatory ability, and she was a kind of fortune teller. Joan upset her neighbours by telling some of them that their husbands or wives would die before they did, and it was thought that she might be causing those deaths, perhaps by witchcraft. Because she was a midwife, she was also called in to help with births, and unfortunately one of the babies who she was supposed to have delivered, but the work was given to another midwife, that baby died, and so Joan was blamed for that as well. She was also thought to have attacked other people in her community because their hunting wasn't going so well, and they blamed Joan for that. So in 1626 in Virginia, Joan Wright was tried by the General Court. And we don't know the exact outcome of her witch trial, but the story is a really important one because it's America's first witch trial. The first woman to be accused of witchcraft in Salem in 1692 was a woman called Tituba. But in my book I've renamed her Tatabay. I think that's because that was the name under which she started her journey to North America as an enslaved child in Barbados in the 1670s, and it's also like the name under which she exited her trial when she was released from prison. So it's something more like Tatabay, Tatuba, something like that, and I've renamed her in the story that I tell of her trial to try and give her back some of her original identity, if we can do that today. Tatabay, or Tituba, was a native South American woman trafficked to Barbados, probably as a child, sold into slavery, and then subsequently bought and carried to North America by the Reverend Samuel Parris, who was the minister at Salem Village. It's often thought that she was practicing some kind of voodoo or Native American religion or powwow or magic or something like that at Salem, which drew her into the witch trials and got her accused. But actually there's no evidence of that. There's a lot of talk of somebody preparing what they called a witch cake, so a lovely concoction of grain and the urine of supposedly bewitched people. But actually it was her husband or somebody who lived in the household with her, known as John Indian, who did that, and there's no evidence at all that Tatabay or Tituba practiced any kind of magic, so it wasn't her fault that she was accused of witchcraft.